Like The Office and Parks and Rec before it, NBC has another mockumentary sitcom on the air. This one features a lot of familiar faces. Let's talk about St. Denis Medical. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my TV review for a new NBC workplace comedy. This is called St. Denis Medical. It airs Tuesday nights alongside the Night Court reboot, which is in season 3 now. And so you can check out some laughs on NBC Tuesdays, or what more of you will probably be doing, myself included, is watching it the next day on Peacock, or, later on whenever you feel like it. I don't watch a lot of live TV these days, but if you do want to check it out, it's on Tuesday nights. So anyway, this was co-created by Justin Spitzer, who brought us Superstore and this other great show that only lasted a couple of seasons on NBC, American Auto. So he's been in business with NBC for many, many years, and you'll see some Superstore people pop up in this one as well. But look, before we get any further into the specifics of this show and my thoughts on it, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are one of my subscribers already, thank you so much for that. Love having you guys return. But if you're not, please consider subscribing down below there. Click that notification bell. Just like this video, comment below too. That stuff always helps the channel out and is much appreciated. All right, so St. Denis Medical takes place in an underfunded hospital in Oregon, and there is a documentary crew theoretically following them around. This is in that mockumentary universe. The Office did it obviously to, perfection. Then Parks and Rec, Modern Family utilized that device. Many shows that have kind of come and gone since The Office have used this device. But in this one, they are actually acknowledging the documentary crew at the end of the second episode. And there might have been one before that I missed, but like sort of the tag scene over the credits at the end of the second episode, the one doctor actually asks, "Oh, what was the question that you asked?" And you hear the response, from the cameraman or whatever saying, "Oh, we didn't actually ask you a question." So they are acknowledging in this universe that there is a documentary crew. Like a lot of these other shows never acknowledged it. Parks and Rec, Modern Family. But The Office eventually did, but it took them a long, long time to get there. I think by season... Well, I guess the first time was when Steve Carell leaves, right? Spoilers for The Office, I guess. But I think he says something to, the documentary crew about, "Oh, let me know if this ever airs," or whatever. But so in this, you get a lot of the, looks at the camera, the deadpans, the breaking sort of that fourth wall type of thing, as we've come to expect from shows like this. But I mentioned that this involves some people that you will recognize, and it certainly does. Wendy McLennan-Covey is kind of the star, but this really is quite an ensemble. Sort of like, though, how in Superstore, America Ferrera was, kind of the star, but several episodes in, it became quite an ensemble of a show. And I think that's kind of where we're going here. But we know Wendy McLennan-Covey from a lot of things. Reno 911 back in the day, and then, more recently, of course, the mother on The Goldbergs, but she's done a lot of animated voice work. She was in Bridesmaids, so we know her. Allison Tolman is sort of the co-lead here, and you may not know her by name, but she's had a lot of sort of one-season shows that have come and gone over the years. But I do think, if I'm remembering right, she was the cop in the first season of Fargo, and maybe the second season as well. So you might know her from that. I know her from more of her comedy stuff. But also you have David Alan Grier here. Talk about someone who's done a lot of one-season shows. So hopefully this one has more of a success than that. But from the world of Superstore, the gal that played Sandra is here as a regular as well. Keiko Kuwali, I think is how you pronounce her. And then Josh Lawson, who had a supporting role on Superstore, as well as Tate, I think was his name. He is one of the trauma surgeons here on this show. So a lot of people that you will know from other sitcoms and stuff. And this is certainly not breaking the mold, breaking new ground, so to speak. And look, we've already had, obviously, a very successful NBC hospital show called Scrubs that it wasn't a mockumentary style, but it wasn't a multicam sitcom either. It did not have a laugh track. It didn't have a studio audience. So, there's certainly maybe some shades of that here. However, that was more about kind of the attendings and the interns making their way up the ranks. I think, if I'm remembering Scrubs right, in the first season, JD and Turk were just interns, right? They had like just started, whatever. But here, this is more about kind of the behind the scenes goings on. Yes, there is going to be a lot of the, you know, patient of the week kind of things. Sort of like Night Court. Night Court, there's going to be, every episode you can expect 2, 3, 4, kind of wacky people go in front of the judge. And maybe one of those will be sort of a major plot point. I think we're going to get a similar vibe from this, which makes sense, to pair it with Night Court. But, Wendy McLennan-Covey plays the, executive director of the whole hospital. So, it's, more about sort of her trying to keep the people happy and the hospital afloat, since they are underfunded and underappreciated. And in the first episode, she buys this, way too expensive, like, mammogram machine, and she wants to have the best, what did she say? The best chest test in the West. So it's one of these shows where it seems like a lot of the lines may be improv. The Office certainly had that, but they made it very clear, that, hey, we don't really improv our lines. But The Office kind of got around that by having a lot of their writers just be a part of the show, like BJ Novak and Paul Lieberstein and stuff. So I'm not sure exactly what the ratio in this particular show yet is of, scripted writing to the the more kind of on the spot improv stuff. I mean, Reno 911 was mostly improv. So Wendy McLennan-Covey, no stranger to that. David Allen Greer obviously has his roots in sketch comedy, and improv and stuff. So I could see that as being, part of kind of the charm of the show. I don't know, but so far it seems like, everybody's kind of, gelling as a cast. You have sort of these stock characters right away. You've got, David Allen Greer plays just the grizzled, curmudgeonly ER doctor. That's, there's a lot of jokes so far about his age and all of that. And look, he plays the older curmudgeon well. He's been doing that for years, even though he's younger than some of his co-stars sometimes, like in that show, The Cool Kids on Fox. It was all of these older actors, and then David Allen Greer really did the gray and his beard and all of that, to kind of play older. So he's definitely done that type of role before. And Wendy McLennan-Covey, is not necessarily stretching her chops either. As Adam's mom on the Goldbergs, she always went the extra mile and whatever, had a plan for everything. We're seeing shades of that here as well. But look, these are not necessarily bad things. I mean, what that means is that the writers and the creators of the show are certainly playing to the strengths of the actors that they have. And it helps a little bit, I think, that we kind of know these actors already and want to root for them. These are all pretty likable people, I think. So yeah, so far, that's a pretty funny show. I'm not rolling in the aisles with laughter, but I can see that this could easily grow into a very, very substantial comedy show with an ensemble. These workplace comedies obviously are Justin Spitzer's bread and butter. Superstore started out actually quite rocky. This, I think, has a better start than that. I gave up on Superstore, and then around the second or third season, a couple of my buddies were like, hey, this show's really good. You should check it out. And now, I love it. But it started out a bit rocky. American Auto, I think, kind of hit the ground running and unfortunately didn't get enough time to shine. That is one you should check out. But this one, I think, is somewhere in the middle there. These first couple episodes have not necessarily lit up the screen, but I can easily see that this could be a great ensemble comedy, if everybody is sort of playing into the strengths of what we already love about them. And so far, that seems to be the case. And what we love about mockumentaries, I think it's interesting that they're already kind of acknowledging that, yes, there is a camera crew here filming us at this hospital, and getting all the nitty gritty. I don't know how much more involved we're going to get with the camera crew, or if it's just going to be kind of, a passing phrase here or there. But that could be interesting because that's something we haven't seen yet. Having the documentary crew really actually be involved as characters of their own. I don't know. But anyway, for now, I don't know that we necessarily need that. But I leave St. Denis Medical with a B. Strong start. I think, that this could be a great workplace comedy at some point. We'll see. But all right, thanks for watching Dan Reviews It, and I'll see you next time.